The European Union defines the freedom of religion or beliefs as the right to have, not to have, or to adopt a religion or belief of one choice. It includes the freedom to manifest this religion or belief individually or in a community, and both in private or in public. And the definition also aligns with international human rights standards, for example, Article 18 of the ICCPR. There are several documents about FRB in the European Union legal framework. One of them is the European Guidelines on the Promotion and Protection of Freedom of Religion or Belief, adopted by the Council of the European Union on 2013. So the main goals of these guidelines first of all, to avoid intolerance, violence, and conflict that can be caused by the violation of freedom of religion or beliefs, to protect the right of individuals to believe, not to believe, and to manifest their belief or religion, and also to act effectively to violation whenever they occur. The key principle on which the guidelines are based are universality and equality. So the freedom of religion and belief is for everyone and everywhere. The impartiality, so the European Union does not align with or judge any religion or belief, so there is no distinction between the so-called traditional beliefs and religion and the modern one. They are all considered the same, and no discrimination, so the protection extends to all. It is important to underline that this protection also considers people who decided to change their belief or religion, and people who are atheists who do not believe in anything. The priority areas in which these guidelines act are first against violence, and in this case, the European Union decided to underline the important role that states has into protect their people against any act of violence that are linked to personal beliefs or religions. Freedom of expression, there's a link between freedom of expression and freedom of religion. For example, in the guidelines stated that censorship of any kind against government regarding religion is a violation of both of these rights because they are connected with each other, and also the fact that the protection is for the people and not for the belief or religion themselves. And finally, the critique of religion is allowed. What is prohibited is violent hatred or speech against people believing or having a particular religion. Then, of course, it's underlying the importance of promotion of respect for diversity and tolerance, and also avoiding discrimination, again with a stress on the role of the state in these cases to protect their population against any form of discrimination, both direct and indirect. There are also stated some practical tools that the European Union would use in order to resolve this issue. First of all, there is monitoring, assessing, and reporting. So basically the European Union mission monitor third countries and the situation with the freedom of religion and belief in that country. And they keep in touch with also local authorities and organizations, minorities that are influenced by the violation of FRB. And they try to follow up and act in order to solve that problem. And they also guarantee that in the annual European Union report about human rights, there will be a section dedicated to freedom of belief and religion. Then they underline the importance to bring this type of arguments and topic also in higher level scenarios such as public diplomacy and political dialogues. And then there's a section dedicated to the training. Again, there is a collaboration between, or there should be a collaboration between the European Union and local authorities that can guarantee a more detailed information about what was going on in that area about the religion and the beliefs, in order to train European staff to act right in that specific area. In 2019, there was an upgrade about these guidelines with the mandate also of the special envoy and the promotion of freedom of religion or belief outside the European Union that was adopted by the European Parliament. In this case, the key implementation were addressing transparency. In fact, the European Union pushed in order to have more clear details about what was going on in the missions, because in this way, the European Union wanted to know if their action was actually making a difference in freedom of religion and belief. Then they emphasized the need of integrating the further with other human rights concerns, such as gender equality and non-discrimination, because before freedom of religion and belief were seen as something isolated with respect to other human rights issues, and in 2019 they said that there was a need of implementation this kind of human rights with other human rights issues. And then they called for a more permanent role of the European Union envoy special position, basically in order to have a more stable position and mandate, and also to give them all the tools needed to achieve their goals and to complete their missions. Then I focus on a particular subject, which is the possible state abuse of freedom of religion or beliefs. I find it interesting, and the most common forms of state abuse could be criminalization and punishment for religious choices. So in some states, people are discriminated or isolated because of their religion or their beliefs. This, of course, is something that is against the European guidelines and in general the National Human Rights guidelines. Then there is compulsory registration. So in some states it is mandatory for religious groups and religious groups to register themselves to local authorities. Of course, this is a form of control, and especially because groups that do not register themselves to authorities could face legal and financial consequences, and sometimes death penalty if something is considered too much against the state. Then there is the possibility of interference in internal affairs by the state. So, for example, state can push for a specific leadership in a group, a religious group, because it's closer to their political view, but it is easier to control. And again, this is a form of control that is against European guidelines. Then there is the restriction on access to worship and education. For example, in some countries, children of minority groups are forced to follow education based on the main religion of the country, and of course, in this case, it's a discrimination because they cannot choose another path or another education. They have to follow the one that is mandatory by the state. And then there is a confiscation of property, so states basically take away places of worship just in order to stop the minorities to practice their beliefs. So the European Union tried to respond to those issues. Basically, they firstly asked for the elimination of all those laws considered discriminatory against minorities in religion and belief groups, the impartial application of anti-coercion measures, the attention when applying limitation to the religion of the freedom of religion and beliefs, so just when it's really necessary and when it's justifiable for security reasons, and also the protection of religious heritage sites and guaranteeing the right to access the sites to minority groups that follow a